We know getting out of debt is no easy task. It's even harder when you're doing it by yourself and your spouse isn't on the same page as you. So today we're going to discuss how can you get your spouse on board with becoming debt free.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back to another Sunday night sit down with his and her money. I'm Talit.
And I'm Ty, and we're managing money, marriage, and everything in between.
So guys, we're all about encouraging, empowering, and equipping you guys to become debt free once and for all, because one of the worst things in a lot of our lives that's holding us back from living a life of purpose is the amount of debt that we're in. We spend so much time going to work every single day. Why? Just to keep up with all the payments that are surrounding us. And so some of you have been encouraged to the point where you're ready. You're tired of the situation that you're in and you want to become debt free once and for all. And you're ready, you're gung-ho, you're putting one foot in front of the other. But the problem is
your spouse may not be ready.
Yeah.
We've received numerous emails from some of you guys asking us, well, how do I get my spouse on board? I'm ready to tackle this debt and to become debt free once and for all, but my spouse doesn't want to do it. So we wanted to share with you guys some of the ways that, or techniques that we've used personally in our marriage to help motivate each other. There have been certain points in our marriage where one of us was a little bit more excited than the other when it came to certain financial goals. And so we both, had to encourage each other. So in the beginning of our marriage, and we've told you guys our story, for some of you all who may not know it, you want to do the honors?
So I was a spender, I was reckless, I had bad credit, I had a bunch of debt, I had no clue when it came to personal finance. All I knew was to spend, and spend. And so I put myself in a terrible predicament financially, and then I fell in love with a saver who was debt free, who had it all figured out when it came to finance. She was a finance major in college. She was working in the finance industry.
Let me just say something. I never had it all figured out, and I still don't have it all figured out. He likes to say that, and I appreciate it, but it was a journey for me as well, too. I grew up in a family where it was 5 siblings. I have a twin sister. So she and I were used to sharing items. My parents went to work, worked very hard, and they were more on the frugal side, I would like to say. So I just thought that, hey, if you don't have the money to buy certain items, you just can't buy it. You can't go out and get credit for it. That was like a big no-no. And so, as he said, I didn't have any debt. I was able to finish college debt-free, thankful to God. And so I thought our marriage would be no different. I was highly mistaken. I had no idea that I was about to marry into a marriage where he had debt and he was bringing debt into the marriage. So
we were complete opposites, and we had to figure out along the way how to get on the same page.
Yeah.
And so one of the very first things that needs to happen in order for you two to become on the same page with getting out of debt is you need to both have a clear understanding of why you want to get out of debt, why you need to get out of debt. If you don't understand the why, if he or she doesn't understand the why, then you're going to be just spinning your wheels.
Right.
Because it's not enough just to talk about what. Okay, the what is we have $50,000 in student loans. That's the what. So what? Who cares?
Right.
What you need to figure out is why those student loans need to go.
Right.
What would our life be like if we didn't have student loans?
Right.
What could we do with our life if we didn't have student loans? How could we help other people if we didn't have student loans? What type of message are we passing on to our children by staying in debt? All of these are whys. And these are what you pull on in those times of trouble where you're tired of working toward getting out of debt, or where you have a point of contention with, you guys are cutting back on, say, cable, and you need that why. Why did we just make this move? Because I like having my cable. I like having my Mercedes-Benz outside. I like, I don't see that car note as a big deal, but if you have a why in mind, a goal that you're reaching toward, the end game, that is what helps you both to kind of see the same picture and head in the same direction. So you both need to have a conversation. If you're the one who's on point and ready to go and your spouse isn't, just start
Right.
by sitting down and having the conversation, and have the conversation not looking for necessarily an immediate return on your investment in this conversation,
Right.
because it doesn't click for everybody at the same time. But you do need to have the conversation. You do need to share your heart with your spouse as to why that you think you need to change things and that you all need to be working toward getting out of debt.
And don't be aggressive with your conversation with your spouse. You have to realize that you all didn't get to this place overnight, so it's not going to take overnight for you all to become completely debt-free. So when you approach your spouse, do it in a loving way. And as he said, tell them the why. Well, I've been looking at all of this debt, and believe it or not, I think that we need to get out of debt. Well, why do we need to get out of debt? Show that spouse the reason why. Show them the benefits. But don't expect them to be, like he said, on board right away. You want to be patient, be loving. A lot of times, most people who were in debt or had credit cards and things like that, they're afraid for their spouse to come and tell them, hey, we need to change, because they think that all the fun's going to end. You know, no more shopping sprees, no more vacations. What about Disney World? You mean to tell me I can't buy that Prada purse and things like that? They're afraid. They think that their life is pretty much coming to an end, but it doesn't have to. You can live a life so rewarding, becoming debt-free, where you can buy all the purses that you want, you know, afterwards. You can go on all the vacations that you want. But we do know that not all spouses will be on board right away. So one of the things that we do is we are Christians and we pray. That was number one. We pray to God. Pray to God. Go to God every single day. Every single day I'm praying for my spouse. And hopefully you're doing the same for me.
Yeah, I get it in.
Oh.
I get it in.
Okay, I appreciate it. But pray. And that's one of the biggest tools. I pray to God, Lord, soften my husband's heart, or give me the words to say when approaching my husband. You know, show us both, you know, what it is that you want us to do. So that, first and foremost, was a biggie for us. Then another thing for us, we searched the scriptures. What did the Bible say about being in debt? What did the Bible say about finances and about money? So we were both on the same page. And then as he said, we dreamed together. We set goals. That was big. One of our goals was we wanted to be able to give like no one else. It is a joy when we're able to help others financially, so, and even help sometimes where people they're not even aware of it. You know, we enjoy that. And then too, a big thing for us is becoming mortgage debt free. We want to pay off this mortgage completely. So right now that goal is really high on our priority list, and that helps motivate us every single day to keep putting one foot in front of the other when it comes to handling our finances. Now guys, we're not going to make this all pretty and roses. There have been times, and there's still times in our marriage whereas we both need a little kick in the rear, per se. And all we can tell you is continue to put forth the action. You know, there have been times, early on I was saying our marriage, that I was very frustrated because I felt like I was sacrificing a lot. I felt like I was sacrificing that new purse or that new clothing item or whatever it is. And then my husband on the other end, I just saw he liked to spend still, you know, and that bothered me at first until I realized, hey, he can spend his fun money however he wants, however he chooses. I can spend my fun money, which some may call it allowance, however I choose. If I choose to save it, I shouldn't be getting mad at him because he decides to spend it. That's why we set these parameters in place.
And so another key thing that I think, if you have a spouse who's not on board, you should be the change that you want to see. In other words, lead by example. If you get to the point to where you see you had the talk, you had the conversation, and you're still not seeing that they are on board, which is it's a good chance that happens.
True.
But you be the change. So you cut back in some personal areas that you can, and you lead by example. When they see you making sacrifices, and that you're taking that money that you're saving off a person's sacrifice, and maybe you don't get your nails done as often as you once did, or maybe you cancel your gym membership, and you're taking that money and you're applying it to debt by example, they have to see it.
That's true.
They have to start to take notice and see that, wow, what's up? So I mean, you know, and then that leads to more conversations and more talks, and you can begin to steady chip away, but you have to do it in love. You have to do it in a way in which you're not looking to beat him or her over the head with it, but you're doing it in a way that you're partnering with the Lord in softening their heart. You have to do it with love and with respect.
We interviewed a couple, Tony from Debt Free Divas, on our podcast show, and her and her husband, they paid off over $20,000.
Yeah.
It's like over $120,000. And the story is remarkable. We'll make sure that we link it below or put it on the screen. But you guys definitely want to listen to it. And that's pretty much how they started their journey. Her husband was not on board, right away. And she did exactly what he just said. She led by example. She started to put forth the action. She started to put forth the work. And then, believe it or not, her husband joined in after she did. And look, they were able to accomplish paying off over $100 and something thousand worth of debt, all by leading by example.
Remember, love is patient and is kind. So don't expect that some microwave result is going to come. You may have to put this one in the crock pot and be patient.
Oh.
But in the end...
But you know about the crock pot.
Oh, I get it in.
Have you ever used a crock pot before?
Absolutely. What do you mean? Have you not had my beef stew out the crock pot with the potatoes and the onions and
No,
it be all
seriously?
delicious?
Are you serious? You're joking right now.
Seriously?
I've
You don't remember
never
my
had-
beef stew?
When?
Wow.
Were we married?
Yeah, we were definitely married.
You had
Yeah.
beef stew in a crock pot?
Yeah.
When was that? When was that, like, early in our marriage?
I guess maybe.
I thought you didn't even like beef stew.
Well, I made a real one.
You made
It wasn't
beef
out the
stew in a
can.
crock pot? One
I had
time,
beef
maybe?
chunks. How many times you made it?
I don't make...
Oh, okay. All right. So that's one more than you.
I don't make beef stew
Oh.
because you don't like beef stew, and
I
I don't
like it
really,
out the can.
and I don't really care.
I don't like
Whoever
it.
use can.
My mom. That's all.
Oh,
it
okay. I
is.
thought you were
That's
trying
all
to.
it is.
I thought you were trying to insinuate that I use it out the can.
I don't know. Dinty Moore.
Oh, you are hilarious.
So you have to keep in mind that this, like Ty said, it's not going to happen overnight. It's a process, and it's a process worth taking.
Yes.
It's a journey worth going on. You can't quit, give up. Now, maybe you're not going to be able to do it as quick as somebody where both spouses are on board and
Right.
they're both gung-ho, but that doesn't give you the reason or the excuse to quit. You just have to work at it, stay with it,
Yes.
and things will come around.
And as we say, knowledge is key and knowledge is power. Read. That's one thing that we still do to this day, this very day. We send each other articles via email. We're reading books. Read together. Find out, different topics. Find out different topics on money. We have a video on our 5 favorite books currently right now on the topic of money. And you guys definitely do that together. Grow together. And believe it or not, you will see that you all can win together. You are a team. There is no I in team.
Sometimes you're gonna have to encourage yourself because
Yep.
it won't be easy
That's so
when you're striving to do this on your own. You're gonna have to stay encouraged, and
Right.
part of that is, like Ty said, reading articles or reading books or listening to the His and Her Money Show on iTunes to stay
Yes.
encouraged. But the point is, you're gonna have to stay encouraged to take this journey. And what's gonna happen is your spouse is gonna take notice.
Yep,
He or
so
she
true.
is gonna see that there's a change in you and that you're going towards this goal, and eventually they will come around.
That's right, guys. Well, we hope this video has helped you out a lot. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to visit us over at our website at hisandhermoney.com. Don't forget, also visit us here every single Sunday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for our Sunday night sit-downs where you will see the both of us sharing with you.
So until next time, guys. Peace.
Bye.